It's been extremely rewarding, and but I've always felt that service to your community was very important. We just absolutely don't have to hire everything done. That volunteers and people who want to contribute is very important, and I believe that to be a very it's always been important to me. My father and his work ethic, and my mother, who had a strong work ethic, and I've always had that as something that I felt was important to contribute and pay back to a community what you've gained by being here or being in this community, and so that's always been that important to me.
Every once in a while I'd think about being a priest, and then I would go out and probably have one too many to kind of drown it out and forget about it and be all right for about 2 months, and I'd come back, and I never said anything to anybody. And then one New Year's Eve, I ran into this one gal who her father ran an ice cream store, and I'd stop in there quite often to have a malt, basically because she was pretty good looking. So then we went out on New Year's Eve, and we stopped in at this one house about 2 o'clock in the morning, and everybody's playing cards. And so I still remember we sat down along the wall there on the floor, and they were serving martinis, so we had a martini, and all of a sudden she turns to me and she said, "Mel, when are you going to go back to school?" I said, "What are you talking about?" She says, "Oh, you should be a priest." And I thought, well, now there's got to be something going on here. I've been fighting this for the last couple of years, and so I guess a lot of people can't understand this, but I think this calling is a special calling from God, and it doesn't make any difference what age you are, as long as you're. And personally, I find a lot of not self-satisfaction, but a lot of good in being able to be with people and share with them, because I love people.
It's like saying, do you need help, or can I help you? Let me help you. Truthfully, the latter one is the way it reads you. Let me help you. The person that I probably would say outside of my family that meant the most to me was my scoutmaster. You might say he's pushed you in the right direction. I got thrown out one time because I'm supposed to be the older kid, and I'm supposed to be teaching the other scouts something, and I was fooling around doing not the right thing. And he said, "David, you're going home." And I went, "Okay." And he was scolding me for what I was doing wrong, and as I'm walking out the door, and he says, "And I want you to be sure to be here next week." And that's the kind of a guy he was. In the Boy Scout motto, it says, to help other people at all times. And that's probably stuck with me more than anything else. If somebody wants you to step up and do something, do it. I was taught to be a follower, good follower. Out of good followers finally comes leadership. I've been in so many different leadership positions, and I've been able to, in a sense, maybe help create good followers through the years.
I learned that you have to study and not just go on the word of what somebody say. You have to study the issues and know what you're doing and research and visit with the people as well as doing your research. So I learned that you can't just sit there and vote. You got to know why you're voting and what you're voting for. I would love to get some young people interested in politics to learn to be able to decide issues and be able to run for any office, local, state. I would love to be able to do that. To get your education and go for it. But first of all, get your education.
What drives me to get involved in the community over the years that I raised 6 kids in this community and educated all of them here in this community. All of them went beyond high school. So that in order for them to have a better life and a better situation, somebody had to get out in front and lead them. I was in all the struggles, went to jail, but that really didn't bother me. I looking back at those who was coming behind me would have a better road to travel than I had. That there's somebody tried to do something about it, and whether we know reach the point or not, but it's sometime that to solving the problem is not it. Just open up the problem and open the problem up, let it face the public then.
I can remember when I was around 40 years old, Louis Beecher, prominent attorney in Waterloo, called me and talked to me about raising funds in the community. He had been a major fundraiser for years, and he wanted me to take his place because he was getting a little older. And so I took up that banner, and when I became president, CEO of Waterloo Industries, our company was quite generous to the community, and I think I was as well. I had always known about the Boys and Girls Club, and I had made contributions, but I didn't know a whole lot about them. But I started, I believe it was in April of, maybe 5 or 6 years ago. I can't remember the exact year. But I worked from 7 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock at night for 4 months, raising money and getting that organization back into shape. I enjoy raising money. I enjoy doing things for the various organizations in the community. It's something I've always enjoyed doing.
Doing things and helping others, and I've just got always something that I want to do all the time. I will have to say that was my husband, Don, my first husband, Don, because no matter what I wanted to do or to try, I worked different places in Grundy when I didn't have a steady job. I was even, I worked at the bank, somebody had the measles, and if I worked at the Grundy Register, help with papers when somebody was sick and do all of that. And he would take over at home and do the washing and do everything as long as I could do this. He was very proud of me, and whatever I wanted to try for or accomplish, he made time for it. Yes, I would, for their own satisfaction, as long as it did not, if they were single, fine, yes, and get into a business. And but if they're married, work that around their marriage so that it did not interfere with that. But I think all women should do something besides housekeeping.
Marge was very interesting. When we got married, I said I didn't want a clinging vine, and for her to do what she wanted to do, and unfortunately she took that to heart and did that. She had some things that kind of got her involved in it. She's been teaching swimming since she was 17, and through the Red Cross, and so that got her involved with the Red Cross. And Marge was always, she was one of those persons who liked to help somebody, and she felt that teaching swimming was wonderful because she was saving lives because she was teaching. And then she was always a blood giver too, so that got her on the Red Cross board. And so the things that the Red Cross did and her mindset were very much the same. That's why she spent so much time, and I think was a good member of the Hawkeye Chapter Red Cross board.
Because I live here, and I have so many friends here. It is important to know what's going on and to be a part of it if I can do that. And I think I've jumped through that and being a part of it.